and you'll find that conviction is part of their heritage, along with much spitting and shouting and interesting hand gestures. Live and let live. Maybe I'd go with that for now until I figured out something better. Then again, no, because I wouldn't mind if my ex turned up dead. Live and let one person die? Doesn't have the same ring to it somehow. Anyway, on this sweltering Sunday morning in August, at just after 10, I sat in my classic Mustang convertible, read Bondo Special, outside an apartment complex in Jackson Heights, wishing for air conditioning and hoping to spot one very wily Mr. Eugene Waters. Serving court papers made up a nice percentage of my Uncle Spiros's agency's profits, and while I normally didn't serve, the success rate of our top two servers dropped when it came to Mr. Waters. Over the past week, neither of them had been able to get the guy to accept landlord dispute papers, and the deadline was fast approaching. Yes, after 2 failed attempts, the agency could go the nail and mail route, meaning I could nail the papers to his door, or slip them under it, then mail 2 additional copies, 1 regular and 1 certified, to Mr. Waters. But the reason why Uncle Spiros and his agency were popular in the serving business was because he didn't like to do that. The client wanted the papers served in hand, then in hand was how they would be served. So I'd rolled my eyes and told everyone I'd do it myself. I mean, how difficult could it be? Rule number 565, never underestimate the potential of any case to turn dangerous or complicated or both. My Uncle Spiros, the certified PI, my mentor, and owner of the agency where I work, was fond of rules. And while I was exaggerating the number of this one, the rule itself stuck in my mind, which would make my uncle happy. Me, I made a face and determined I should come up with my own list of rules, the first of which would be to ignore Uncle Spiros's rules. Muffy barked from the back seat as if putting an exclamation point on my ruminations. I stared at the scruffy Jack Russell Terrier. It had been 2 months since my mother's neighbor and best friend Mrs. K had gone on to the big Hindu heaven in the sky, and Muffy the Mutt had been promoted from rescued pet to my pet, and I had the bite marks to prove it. I wouldn't go so far as to say that Muffy and I had become friends, but we had reached a truce of sorts, an I won't mess with you if you don't mess with me attitude that was working out so far, except when I was leaving the apartment. Somehow he, yes, Muffy is a he, sensed when what I was about to do might be marginally exciting, and he found a way to follow me out and jump in the back of my car. He rarely followed me when I went to my parents' house up the block from my place, however. Then again, I didn't much like how my paternal grandmother eyed him while she diced vegetables either. I mean, dog meat couldn't be that far from goat meat, could it? And seeing as Yaya had lived through some difficult times back in the homeland, like World War II, communist guerrillas and 2 military juntas, well, I decided I didn't want to pursue that particular line of thought. Bingo. I switched my attention from the dog to first-floor apartment number 69. A short, thin black man had stepped outside. Was that a pink satin bathrobe with feather cuffs he was wearing? Looked around, then bent over to get the Sunday Times I'd put out there. I knew few people who could resist a paper put right outside their door, especially on a Sunday, although I suspected Mr. Waters was the type who would probably steal his neighbor's paper. My brand-spanking new pair of K-Swiss hit the pavement as I got out of the car, capturing my attention where they contrasted against my jeans, so that I nearly closed the door on Muffy when he followed after me. I growled at the dog, then hurried the 50 or so feet to apartment number 69. "Excuse me," I said. "I was hoping you could help me." Mr. Waters eyed me warily, then Muffy. "I'm lost and need some directions." He went inside the apartment with the newspaper, then slammed the door. Humph. Maybe Pamela had tried the plant the newspaper then pretend to need directions angle already. I left the map around the sealed documents and sighed, Muffy panting at my feet as if waiting to see what I would do next. I knocked on the door. "Please, I've been driving around in circles for an hour. If you could at least let me use your phone to call my aunt." A muffled, high-pitched male voice came from the other side of the door. "We ain't got no phone. Go away." "Maybe you could take a look at my map. Tell me where I'm going wrong?" "I ain't from around here."